it has made my life so much easier because I've been kicked from more rooms probably than anybody on this app of all time. And that's a lot of work to have to create a new burner, to create a fake profile, to sit in somebody's room, to live stream a boring conversation. So it has made it easier for me. But what's interesting is the initial reaction is I'm going to kill this person. I'm going to go to his house. I'm going to call the police. Isaiah said he called the cops twice on me. So the thing is, once they come to realize that their anger is futile and that this anonymous allows me to live stream them onto YouTube, and their complaints to YouTube aren't working anymore because a lot of people do file complaints against me on YouTube, and it doesn't seem to be taking anything down anymore. But my point is, I think they just gave up. And I think that that's healthy on their behalf, not to be concerned that somebody is recording them, because truth be told, nobody's doing, committing crimes on here having these conversations.
Well, but they kind of are.
Wait. I've been trying to jump in for a second. Abby, hang on for a second. I just want to just go back to this. Sorry. So you are putting yourself up for election as a congressman, wanting people to be able to trust you, yet you have a multitude of people who have every reason to distrust you because you choose to be able to record their voice, their thoughts, their feelings, their sharings, right, from an app without consent. This is
but don't forget, I also share my thoughts, opinions, and I come on here and I'm very transparent about who I am. So if you think that voters can't trust me, maybe you're projecting and need to go look in the mirror yourself.
No, you're not transparent. That's a fucking lie. I'm going to call you out for it because you do go into rooms as anonymous because people, you know very well that you're going to get kicked out if you come up with your real name. American Party is not your real name. Okay? It's John, beep, beep, beep. You can give it to yourself if you want. You can't bullshit a dude. Okay? Nice fucking try.
Hold on, Kitty, hold on. Look, I think everybody's frustration with this is at this point misguided. If this conversation was happening before the app made the change, everybody'd have the full right to be like, you son of a bitch, I didn't consent to this, I was in a room with no replays. But now that the app's done this, I think the app is telling everyone, like, dude, it's gonna get repurposed, and so if you don't like, if you're not okay with it, it's kind of like it's kind of like the CEO that gets caught on the kiss cam, right? It's like if you can't have an affair at the ball game, you just can't, or the concert, you just can't do it anymore. And so, hold on, let me just land this point. I think what he's done has been annoying. It's been fucking like almost harassment. Like to a certain extent, but all of that
harassment.
But hold on, hold on. It was harassment, but now the app is saying that this content, when you speak on this content, that content is not yours. The app itself has it, and they have
no.
Hold on.
The functionality is, but the app hasn't. Yeah.
Rowan, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do that would stop somebody from doing this. And the app knows that. What the app has decided is what they want is people like John to record this, repurpose the content, whether it's streaming it or putting it somewhere else, because they're hoping, don't interrupt me. What they want is they want people to notice it elsewhere, to go, where the fuck is this taking place at? So then they'll hopefully come to this app, which doesn't really work. But that's what the app is hoping for.
So can I just had a question for John. Hold on.
It doesn't really work.
Kitty, I just had a question for John. So I see where you're streaming it, or I don't even know all the places. But in terms of any commercial value of it, ultimately, if you were to take all of this and combine the highlights and try to sell it, any kind of network or any kind of entity that would then be commercializing it is going to want consent from people. No.
Yeah, I mean that's so far down the line, Abby. I'm never going to do that.
Can I finish? We did with the app. But what I'm saying is separate from from what he has and what he's recording and what he's blasting on YouTube. If he ever tried to compile this and put this out there for
Abby, it's on YouTube. It's compiled already. You're describing what I'm doing.
You didn't let me finish.
It's not the new business, Abby, is YouTube. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Christ, John, let her finish. Be a gentleman.
But don't get so upset,
Suppose
Rohan.
someone wanted to put together the highlights of this and go to a Netflix and say, hey, I got this funny idea and I want to do a series and here it is and here's all these recordings. None of these commercial companies, like I'll use Netflix because it's the easiest
Abby, you
one,
probably
right?
never watched my low quality videos, okay? Nobody is interested in
what
them.
I'm saying? They're going to require consent from those they do on anything that they use where they have the public. You have to sign off. They have to have everyone who's in a scene signing off. So I'm just saying that aspect of it would be monitored or would be self-policed by any of these commercial ventures that you might be looking at.
Got it. I'm not looking at them, but thank you. I'm running for Congress, so this is content for my constituents.
You guys, is anyone following what I'm saying? You have to sign
I
releases.
am, but I'm saying, what if I'm a billionaire?
They would want your voice. They would want your voice released if they ever tried to do this.
I would go billionaire with Netflix, and I would go to Clubhouse, and I would say, did each and every one of these people that this guy John is supposedly giving clips from, just like on Instagram or let's say Facebook, where you can see people like their actual quotes of what they really said.
Just take note that nobody's going to pay to listen to Chrissy, okay? Nobody's going to pay to listen to you, Abby. Nobody's going to pay to listen to Mojo. Nobody cares about these fucking conversations. I hate to break the bad news to you.
Abby says to Mojo about a certain.
So then why the hell would you bother spending so much time year after year with 50 mobile phones recording them?
Do you want to come over here and do yoga in your underpants with me in the sun? Like, what do you want me to tell you, dude? I'm doing what I'm doing.
I would fucking prefer to be able to chew on broken glass and spit 5 minutes.
Listen, your anger management problem is your problem. Deal with it.
Guys,
No,
I
this
wasn't
is
done on my.
This is not me being angry in the slightest. Okay, you can deflect from it if you want, and which you did do before. And the question that I
what are you so worried
stands,
about? Is there a video of you saying something that you don't want people to know about?
John, relax.
I am relaxed. I'm just wondering how long you're going to keep asking me the same question.
Hold on for a second. I just want an answer. Simple answer. As a potential politician, you're going to be required to be able to answer questions. How is it that you could expect constituents in your areas to be able to have a level of trust with you if you can't show the integrity by showing other people that you respect their privacy? Yes, there is a loophole within this app, absolutely, but the regulations this app.
Listen, I hate to break it to you. You're an Australian, not an American.
Okay, I get it. I had to break it to you. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm still using this app, and so is everybody else. There are terms and conditions that you are breaking. Hence, you're effectively breaking trust with people. How do you
really? So my constituents can learn what people are talking about?
How do you expect your constituents to trust you?
Go to my YouTube constituents and you can see how transparent I am versus this random person talking to me on the internet right now.
Yeah, he's going to win you on that one.
Yeah, okay. You lost that one.
So I actually was going to ask you, because someone, I don't know if you said this, like people aren't committing crimes on here. People actually are committing crimes on here. There's some direct threats.
You're going to want to have to take that one up with Mojo.
Let me finish. The same threats that we either hear verbally or they write in the chat, if they put on Twitter, they get investigated. And people have gone to jail for writing those things on Twitter.
On that, John. Yeah.
I mean, I hear it.
I think I've recorded
and John,
criminal conversations on here, but
Jesus
I just wonder sometimes, is it all just political?
Can I finish? There are direct threats. There are people that threaten other people with harm, with physical harm. That, again, some of the stuff that gets written directly in a chat or said, if it was on a social media platform like X, people have been investigated and gone to jail for doing that. That's why we're always reporting these. And, you know, when you see something like that, But to say that they're
Oh, I know. I
it's
tag Cash Patel and
crime-free,
Dan
it is
Bongino on X all the
absolutely
time.
it is absolutely not crime free.
No, I agree. I've tagged Amir's room to Dan Bongino and Cash and FBI and CIA, and I say potential terrorist and definite terrorist supporters.
Yeah, I mean, I think that law enforcement is monitoring. I think law enforcement's monitoring more social media than people realize. That's been a priority now in this administration, especially as they're looking at people's social media with respect to visas trying to come into the country. So it'll come back to bite some people in the ass. But I think that this app is under the microscope as well.
Yeah, but who better
Look,
to
I just
catch
want to
them than
acknowledge something
somebody
as well.
that's
Look,
recording it?
I'm actually really glad that, John, you take the opportunity to be able to record that room and people in those rooms as well. I think that's a positive thing. On the negative side, though, however, whether you realise it, like it or not, or choose to be able to acknowledge it for that matter, these rooms that are on here, conversations are held out in public. Whatever you say does go out there to most of these rooms. There are rooms, however, where now people feel stifled about really expressing themselves fully because they do know, right, that people like you exist. Okay,
No,
they do
I
know
don't
that
own
these
this app,
rooms and these conversations
bro.
are
Take it
not
up with Clown House, not some
all-
random guy in Chicago doing
get
yoga
it,
in his
man.
underpants.
Okay. I know you're hurt. Okay, this is challenging for you. Okay, I get it. Right.
I just
relax,
want to
it's
quote
fine.
Mojo. Who
But there are
hurt
people
you?
Who
Who
are not
hurt
getting
you?
the same type of benefit out of this app. Okay, and are choosing to be able to not say anything or even leave the app because of people like you. So well done.
Yeah, but have you ever looked at a recorded room, Rohan, and then saw Clubhouse come in? Like, if you listen to the replay, you'll see Clubhouse and it'll have a little hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kitty, there are rooms that I come across where I can see they are being recorded, okay, and I have the choice as to whether to enter, whether to be part of the conversation, period.
But what I'm saying
That's
is
with
that
consent. I
that's what
give
you
consent
know
for myself to be
consent.
recorded. Okay, and
They
there's not
can't do it like what Mojo says. They've been doing it all along.
Hold on. Listen, here would be my worry, is that when you have people participating in these conversations, right? And some people, and I don't know why they would do it at this stage of the game, Marshall, having their real names attached to their profiles. So, John, when you record this, not only are you exposing the audio, but you'll show the photographs. Again, it's their choice to put it up there, and in some cases, their names. And when that happens, you're catching people. Their intent in participating in this conversation is not to have it broadcast and streamed on YouTube. Now, again, I think in the world we live in now, where we have the anonymous accounts and you cannot even remove them, Clubhouse has signaled to us that they want this to happen. They want it to happen. This is not, it's intentional, because they could have, for monetization, they could have created all kinds of different tools that people would have paid the $5 for or whatever it is. What they decided to do was create an option where people cannot remove people from the room that might be, eavesdropping or sharing information. And so Clubhouse is I think, John, you were an asshole when you were doing it against people's, wishes. Now Clubhouse is the asshole. I can no longer really hold John accountable for this when it's Clubhouse that's saying, hey, we want to incentivize this. And by the way, people are going to pay. They're going to pay to have the privilege to be able to share this, right? And so,
Rose.
I don't know, man.
Rose.
Right before they did that, this would be a much different conversation. John would have been removed from this room. We wouldn't be having a polite conversation, all that kind of jazz. But if Clubhouse is making those choices, and we make the choices to be here knowing what the rules are in Clubhouse, you can't then cry foul when people are doing what Clubhouse is enabling them to do. And the only thing I would ask you, John, is to consider maybe figuring out a way, you're a creative guy, figuring out a way of, if you can expose people that are doing really bad shit, cool. But for the people that are just having a political conversation, and they left their real photograph and their real name, if there's a way that you could, I don't know, give some consideration to,
But you should be aware that the people who are watching my live streams are just random people all around the world who stumble upon a random conversation. They're just like Clownhouse users by extension.
This is true. You know who they also are? They're the people that have feuds with each other on Clownhouse that will go to your recordings that have been, saved in the cloud, and then they can listen to it, and then they can go weaponize it. I actually, at this point, I no longer see you as the bad guy in this whole thing. I see this as one of those scenarios where it was a misguided move by Clubhouse, and as such, people that are worried about being exposed on YouTube, they should think about whether they want to participate at all on this app, and if so, how are they going to engage?
But what
if that changes,
Mojo? Why can't we just admit that we're all playing a word game? I have taken on the role of a central node. None of this is personal. If somebody has a problem with a recording I've made, you can message me and I will delete it if it bothers you that much. And I've always been pretty open about that. I'm on here all the time, talking all the time. If you want something deleted and you got it saved, send me the link and I will oblige.
Hold on. What's really interesting about this, though, is that I don't think there's anybody that has been targeted quite as much as I have by John. He has channels dedicated to my fictitious names. He's getting URLs and he's setting up YouTube channels. He probably got email addresses in my fictitious name. It's like there's a lot of work that goes into
I know. Roger Mayhem the movie was a lot of work.
When it was brought to my attention at first, I was just like, this guy's fucking insane. What the fuck is he doing? And I will say this, I fired back, and John, why don't you tell him how many of your larger accounts got clipped off of this app because of my reporting?
Yeah, I just had another major big one with 1,500 friends get deleted yesterday because I insulted Mark the atheist when I asked him, what is a Homo sapien? But yeah, I lost a lot of accounts.
Thank you.
I don't know if he left, but yeah, I changed one of my names to Roger Mayhem because I realized like all of these accounts kind of condition us with, your identity or your profile. So it's like Roger Mayhem has conditioned a lot of communication on this app. And when I realized it's just it's a LARP that, there is no Roger Mayhem. It's just a generic, it's a Pepe. It's an evergreen profile. I was like, oh, I'll be Roger Mayhem. And, then shortly I got clipped. But the reason why they clip people here is so stupid because everybody who gets clipped can come right back. So
I got clipped. I got clipped for nothing, like next to nothing. And then literally it was getting mass reported. Like I'd only been on the app for a month. And then they gave me not only that, they gave me this account back. This is my original account. It was the feud between me and Ann. I don't even know if Mojo's still on stage because he would love to hear that. But yeah.
No, but
Kitty, you and Ann got into you were sparring on the app and they clipped you?
That wasn't season 1. I'm an Android user. But yeah. It was the whole Second Amendment thing. And then she had a bunch of people like mass report me. And you guys heard it because we didn't have replays at that point. But me and Ann are good friends. Like, I love Ann. Like, we laugh about it now. Mojo loves to bring it up. But then it became a thing. Before they had like a suspension period, and then after that, like you get a week suspension, and then they clip your account. But now, I don't even know if they do. You can basically say whatever you want, and know that if you click the terms and agreement, it's fine. I mean, like, I've heard some of the most anti-Semitic things. I've heard some of the most, John, if you really want to know, get with me, and I will give you the skinny on some of the theology rooms of the people to look out for and the things that are going to be up and coming. Because, like, I hear it. I hear a lot of shit that you're missing.
Up and coming? Are you kidding me? It's a bunch of depressed people just talking about nothing. Daniel Nero. Dude, that was fun as hell. All right, we'll finish this up.
Hello, Fide.
This is my game. This is my game. Too. Oh.
Okay. And not to be able to record other people. He's using a loophole. That's all.
Well, it's an intentional loophole. They asked people on the app, hey, want to be a premium user? We'll give the ability to be in a room where the person that created the room does not have the control to throw you out of the room. By doing that, Clubhouse has said to me that, like, okay, anybody could be listed. Now, why they did that, I have no fucking clue. The only logical thing that comes to my mind is that they'll take the consequences of, people, that want to stream it or whatever. Maybe it was the easiest mechanical way to allow, let's say, press in without getting thrown out. Maybe the media wants to be in these rooms. Maybe
it's because people are clipping it anyways. They have to deal with those consequences regardless. Do you know how many takedown requests they get and how many reports they get? It must drive them crazy. They eliminated their fucking customer service department by doing this.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a frustrating experience. With the frustration for me was I used to tell people that came in the room, hey, look, unlike Monica will tell people, hey, recordings are off. And I understood why Monica did that, because people accused Monica of stuff that she didn't say. So she wanted to have the replay to be able to say, look, I can play the replay for you. I never said any of that shit. Here's the context in which that came out. I took a different approach where I was like, and this was through trial and error, because I used to have replays on, and then I just recognized that, like, the conversations would be far more free-flowing when the replay was off. And so, because I would tell people, hey, the replays are off, people would feel safe that they could do that. And then my frustration was with people like John that would then record it and stream it, because it's like, well, shit, I'm not doing the recording of it, but somebody else is. It defeated the purpose of what the environment I was trying to create. But now I don't get that argument. I don't have the luxury of that argument anymore, because Clubhouse has taken the tools away from me to stop that behavior. I pretty much know when we have anonymous people in this room who it is that's recording, and I can't do anything. If I go and click on the anonymous profile, it brings me to a thing that asks me if I want to pay to sign up. Like, it's.
I'm going to ask you a question. Here's a question for you, right? If, for whatever reason, Clubhouse chose to be able to reverse the decision to make anonymous unbootable, would you continue to, I don't know, block individuals who are recording rooms without your consent?
I'm in a one-party state, so it doesn't matter whether I like Edmund reporting me or not. I don't have a right to.
Hang on, I was asking Roger. I'd love to hear your input.
So what is the question exactly? Would I block him if I could? Is that your question?
Clubhouse chose to be able to reverse the decision, right, of allowing anonymous to be able to stay in rooms and disabling moderators to be able to kick them out. Okay, would you continue to block people who are recording and streaming rooms without people's consent?
I would, but I would also say that it's a game of whack-a-mole, and for every account that John had that I blocked, which was a non-trivial amount of accounts, I have to assume that he had at least 4 more for everyone that I had blocked. So it's a game of whack-a-mole. In fact, there's a few people, and I won't name them, that are very good at identifying, oh, hey, that's John. They can't do it now. Now we just, assume that, the anonymous, down there with the fingernail is probably John. I think the one with the lips is maybe John. But it doesn't matter at this point, because the anonymous can't get kicked out. There's nothing you can do about it. He could just have a random non-anonymous account. He could bring his own account, just change it to some name, put like a nondescript picture and bio, and we're just going to tolerate
See,
it.
people
Now,
who ratted me out, they'd be watching my live stream and then they'll come in your room, say, hey, Kitover is recording your room. Like, that's the easiest way for people, who rat me out, because they were monitoring my YouTube.
You don't get to be a victim when you're the perpetrator, John. Sorry.
I'm not the victim here. I'm telling you what I do. I enjoy what I do, Ro. Apparently, there's something that I recorded that upset you, but I assure you it was never intentional to upset you.
Okay, I'm just pointing out you shouldn't play the victim when you're actually the perpetrator.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Ro.
Rowan, look, I've communicated my frustration, and I've successfully had multiple of his accounts clipped off of this app. I'll brag about that. And I've had at least one of his YouTubes at least temporarily brought down, or at least I think it was because of mine. So I've gone out of my way to do that. I'm just saying that I'm throwing in the fucking white flag now that fucking Clubhouse has basically said they're on his side. It's essentially this is the way I look at it, right?
But can't you?
I can't do anything to stop it. So my choices are I cannot be on the app, or what else? Like, Rowan, what could I do? What would you recommend with the current state of how Clubhouse allows anonymous accounts? How would you prevent this?
There's actually nothing you can do to prevent it, and that's technically that's the reality. But to be able to to be able to, I guess, now switch the coins and be able to say, well, Clubhouse is responsible